Hey there, I'm Andrea Olson with Go Diaper Free, and today I'm going to record episode 107, which is about the Stone Age, the Continuum Concept applied to EC. So let's do this. Welcome to the Go Diaper Free podcast, where we're all about helping you potty your baby as early as birth. I'm your host, Andrea Olson, author and mom of 5 babies, all EC'd from birth, all out of diapers by walking. And by the way, I've helped hundreds of thousands of others do the same. This is episode 107, Stone Age, the Continuum Concept applied to EC. So you can read the written version of today's show over at godiaperfree.com/107, where I'll also conveniently link to all the things I mentioned in today's episode. I'll also be replying to comments over there, so come on by when you're finished. If you've been doing elimination communication and things were going smoothly, and all of a sudden your baby is simply resisting full force to sit on the potty, but you're certain you are paying attention. In fact, you pay attention so much that this should be working, right? You put aside everything else and make sure that his potty needs are met. You've been darn near perfect, and now it stopped working. You might take a look at this new theory I've developed around infant potty training rebellion. And actually, this theory I came up with when I wrote my first book in 2011. I've woven the philosophies of EC and the Continuum Concept together in a way that demonstrates how child-centeredness and infant potty training simply do not mesh. The thing is, if you are making this mistake, you probably don't even realize that you're doing this at all. So, okay, now for the excerpt from my book to learn why babies sometimes resist pottying, why the terrible twos exist in toddlers in the first place, and what you can do about it, like today. So this is from my book, Go Diaper Free. If you don't have it, it's linked to on the show notes over at godiaperfree.com/107. The book, The Continuum Concept by Jean Liedloff, eloquently illustrates how the Yaquana people, Stone Age Indians residing deep in the forests of South America, raise their children, emphasizing that what we expect of our little ones determines much of what they do and how they behave. If we expect them to fall, they do as we expected. If we expect them to potty outside, they do. For the Yaquana, it's not an emotional battle against children for anything. It's a totally non-adversarial lifestyle. You'll recall that Jean recommends strongly, if you've read the book, strongly against a child-centered rearing in her book. She goes to much length to prove that child-centeredness leads to rebellion, to a baby who is constantly and loudly signaling the caregiver to give me the correct experience, show me how to be an adult. Child-centeredness produces a super grumpy child. She recommends going on with your life as you did before having your baby, doing grown-up stuff while wearing your baby, so he can witness and begin learning what will it take to be a grown-up and contribute to the society he was born into. While doing all this grown-up stuff, shopping, laundry, cooking, walking, socializing, using the toilet, gardening, etc., you remain receptive to the signals that your baby, in his little baby carrier, held close to your body, is constantly giving off. This builds your intuition, connection, and awareness, but not at the expense of irritating your child. Jean mentioned that if you sit around and stare at your baby all day, asking him what he wants to do instead of showing him what we do, he will become agitated and start signaling for correction. He is not signaling for more playtime with you or because he's a terrible two or a toddler, because he's a willful, deviant troublemaker. It's because he wants you to show him something interesting by doing something interesting. Within this setting, babies are softer, calmer, and happier. When parents EC their babies in countries where the continuum, or nature's plan, is honored, they do so matter-of-factly. This is where we pee. I believe you need to go, so if you do, go here. The book also mentions that babies crave information, so we can apply this to EC by providing our children with information about where we expect them to potty. We don't plead, we don't persuade or coerce, and we don't force. These are all what Jean calls adversarial styles of parenting. We align ourselves with the fact that our babies wish to keep themselves, us, and their dens dry, and we assist them in going when they tell us they need to go, or when it's time, per the 4 roads to potty time, or one of the 4 easy catches. Jean recommends not being permissive, so when baby pees on the floor, we express our dismay, but we do not direct it at the child. We matter-of-factly tell them this is not the place to go, that over there is. We clean it up, often with baby's help, without anger towards them. We continue to love the child, but we do not pretend to love the displeasing act. We teach them about right and wrong by reacting to things that displease us in an authentic manner. In other words, we don't lie to them. Jean believed our babies are innately social and that we should expect them to do the right thing, to want to participate and cooperate with us. We don't have to convince them, we just believe. They are born social, and the book states we mold them into becoming antisocial by our expectations that they will be bad, terrible twos, and other examples of trouble. By giving babies information about living and pottying, instead of trying to force, please, or question them about what they want to do today, we give them the opportunity to happily contribute to the society they were born into. We pee in the potty. That's just what we do. So here's a summary of how this philosophy applies to EC. First, don't hover over your baby all day long waiting for her to signal. Second, go forth with your life, showing her what it is to be a grown-up from her right seat in the carrier close to your heart until she's able to move about on her own. Third, be diffusely aware of her pottying signals and needs without hyper-focusing on her as the center of attention. And fourth, teach her about life and pottying by modeling it in your day-to-day activities and giving her matter-of-fact information. Fifth, do not coerce, plead, or punish. Instead, help her do what humans are expected to do, pee or poop in the appropriate place. And I believe this is sixth. Let the mobile baby go along with his whims and explore, keeping an ear out for the signal, intuition, or time to go, like when is it time, without imposing upon his deep exploration of the surroundings. We pause play to pee, and we use a backup when appropriate. And seventh, have an open door policy in your family bathroom so your baby can get hands-on, eyes-on experience of what is expected of her in the grown-up landscape. All right, if you're interested, you can read more of Jean's articles. They're linked to on the show notes at godiaperfree.com/107. And remember, if you're smack in the middle of potty resistance, heck, all of this will pass before you know it. Just detach your focus a bit and watch the magic unfold. And if you haven't begun EC yet, but your baby is 0 to 18 months old, get yourself started with my book. It is easier than changing poopy diapers, and as you can see from the excerpt we just shared, if you're equipped with the right information from the get-go, it will be a heck of a lot easier. So I am curious to know, how did you get through your baby's resistance to sitting on the potty? What did you learn? And have you used the Continuum Concept to inform your parenting? Till next time. I am going to, so what are we going to talk about next? And this is going to be so much fun too. We're going to talk about EC from scratch, DIY elimination communication, super budget-friendly ways to do EC with stuff you already have. So until then, happy pottying, y'all. I'm Andrea Olson, and you've been listening to the Go Diaper Free podcast at godiaperfree.com. We'll see you then. And that was short and sweet. Wonderful. So yeah, let me know. How did you get through resistance? What did you learn? And have you used the Continuum Concept to inform your parenting? I know Jean didn't mean for it to be. When she was alive, she had said in interviews, I didn't mean for this to become a parenting manual, but people definitely took it that way. How have you used that in your parenting? Please comment below and subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll speak to you next time.